Michael Penix is the next Jordan Love, making him the best buy in Dynasty Fantasy Football. So today, we're going to look at the All-22 film of every single throw from his debut and give a final verdict of if you should be optimistic after his Week 1 performance. First play of Michael Penix's career, nice little route here. So you're going to have this receiver run a drag, you're going to have this receiver run a little curl. All these guys are not, one of the read keys. You had the running back out of the backfield that is meant to draw in 27, and it does a pretty good job of it. All you really have to read is where these two linebackers are going. This linebacker is in the middle of the field. Plenty of space. Penix just needs to fit the ball into this nice big window right there. And this is really just more about the timing of the throw and looking through two reads. So gets the ball on him. Nice velocity as well. That ball really got out there in a hurry. And let's just run this back. We're going to see Penix get the ball here. 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop plants, and then rifle it right into the middle. Not really much else he could have done better there. Really nice play from Penix, and he's going to show off his arm strength a bunch more in these clips. Now, obviously, this is going to be a throw that Penix needs to make in his career, but for fantasy football, it is nice to see him at least try and stretch the defense, because that's what he did a lot in Washington. If he's going to be successful and, put up a lot of passing yards, these are the kind of throws that he's going to need to make. Pretty simple concept here. Wide receiver on the bottom of our screen is just going to run a nice little go route, and Penix just needs to hit him. We'll let it play out to see what happens. Good release, wins, and there's enough space. Obviously not a ton of separation, but overall, I don't hate this. It just seemed like he had a little too much on it early in the game and just got a little overexcited and threw it. But let's look at what Penix was doing. I think this is a very nice read, though, from him, because you see here, let's run this back all the way to the beginning. You have one safety back at the bottom of the field, so just read where he goes. If he commits to these receivers there on the other side, then you know where to throw it. If not, just go look for the nice simple throw underneath, if that's checking down to your running back or making another throw. But why is this ball incomplete? Well, it just kind of seems like Penix isn't in great rhythm. You see the safety is kind of flipped as well. So this safety or this defender is going down. This one's going back. And there's no shot that he's going to get over there. So good looks by Penix. Everyone is, bottled up. And this receiver at the bottom has some pretty good leverage. Takes one step back. Kind of false steps steps back on his back foot again. I don't really love that. And it's just not, the best. Just not a great throw. I don't really know if there's much else he could have done except just kind of toned it down. It seemed like he was a little excited. But love the shot there. Something that we definitely want to see for fantasy football. Timing is something a lot of quarterbacks can struggle to adjust to in the NFL. But here, it's going to be a just little nice out route. This receiver is going to clear. And Penix just needs to put this throw on the money. And that's exactly what he's going to do. So we'll let this play out. And here we go. Gets the ball. 1 drop, 2 drop, squares his feet right away. 19 is going to be right to the sidelines. Even though this corner bites down because he sees Penix throwing the ball, he puts it exactly where it needs to be. And that's just a beautiful throw because not only is he getting it there in the money, but he's protecting his guy because now this corner can't absolutely light him up. He's not leading him into him. And also this defender here is further enough away. So if realistically what should have happened is he should have caught the ball, turn up field, trying to split him. And that could have been an even bigger gain on top of the 5 yards that he got. But overall, nice play. Really good decision making by Penix. Way to get the ball out fast. And unfortunately, this play did end up in a fumble. But, obviously not Penix's fault. Play action here. Solid fake. He gets to a spot. And he's going to rip this down like a dart. The arm power is not concerning me at all. I really don't have any concern about Penix's ability to be a gunslinger type quarterback. He's pushing the ball, 15 yards down the field, just barely out of bounds. I think that's just something that needs to have a little bit more touch, but very impressive arm strength. Overall, I think that he was able to get to his spot, let it rip, and then get the ball to the sidelines. It's just he's not missing his throws by a wide margin early on. Obviously, these are his first ever professional throws, so give him a little bit of grace, but he's not missing it by a ton. And there are a lot of good things to take away from these throws, even if it's not a completion, because realistically, if that's Drake London, if that's Kyle Pitts, I could also see that ball becoming a completion because it was a tough catch, but I definitely think that it was toe tappable. This play right here is exactly why I'm excited about Penix in fantasy, because he missed the same exact throw not only, 4 plays ago, but he's going right back to it. He's going to show that he will push the ball down the field and create big plays. You have your receiver at the bottom of the screen, going to run a go route, so really it's the exact same throw. Penix is not going to miss this twice. Drops back, sits in a clean pocket, and delivers. That's just a beauty right there. We'll watch that back, but that's a chunk play. That's at least 40 yards. And throws it right over the cornerback and the safety crashing in. So reads the defense very well. We'll run this back right here. You see the safety at the top of your screen. You're one high, so you know that you have the ability to take a shot. There's not going to be any help on the right side. But yeah, as soon as he burns the corner, all he has to do is put over his head. And that safety right here is still not going to be able to get back. You see, sets up, delivers, boom. Puts it right there. Safety is chasing and puts it exactly where it needs to be. The safety is by then with good enough anticipation. He's still, 3 to 4 steps away, not even close, and creates the yak ability after the catch. My first real negative for Penix here, I just don't really like the rhythm. It seems like he was kind of tripping over himself here. It's a deep out route at the sticks, overthrows him, and it just seemed very rushed. The timing did not look good compared to the other throws he's been making. We'll run it back to the beginning of the play. Gets the ball here, very small steps there, and then just kind of crosses over and steps right back into the outside. It's a good route. You can see it clearly. 82 is just going to go a 10-yard out, but Penix just isn't really in motion. This wasn't a very fluid play by him, and he misses it high. This was easily the most impressive throw of the night. You're going to have this receiver run a fairly deep in route, and then you're going to have this receiver run a little in route as well. So you have one short near the line of scrimmage, one pretty deep, I'd say about 10, 12 yards. And we'll just kind of watch this play out, but I'm going to slow this down and show you exactly what Penix does so well. Gets the ball, calm and collected, takes one step. He's about to step into a throw, and this is exactly what we're talking about. This receiver, actually 80, is coming on a underneath route. So, this receiver is bottled up. He's a diversion for these other two defenders. Yeah, and this receiver is cutting towards the middle of the field. So, what Penix is looking for is he just needs to read this middle linebacker. The middle linebacker is either going to, drop back to this receiver behind him and kind of just leave. He's kind of just going to float here, leave this to underneath, wait till he gets the ball, come up and tackle him, which is a fine play. I mean, couldn't really knock Penix for throwing that, but Penix is going to try and hit the big shot, and how he's going to do that is it's a one-on-one with the middle linebacker here, and what he does is pump fakes, looks back the middle of the field, and you can see this linebacker bites just enough to try and come down. Boom, here is your wide open man, middle of the field, and this also needs to be thrown on an absolute seed. Penix readjusts, sits back in the pocket, delivers a strike right at him, and doesn't. Also, another underrated part of this play is 87 is coming in from this side, right? So if he leads him in here, that could be knocked out. That could also just be a bad injury for the receiver. But instead, he actually throws it kind of middle away. So the receiver, it may look like a bad placement, but it's actually helping the receiver get away from 57 and possibly even turning up the field and splitting these defenders. So very good play by Penix all around. Those are the kind of plays that you see veteran quarterbacks make. That is a super, super impressive play for him to be making in his first preseason game and 6 or 7 throws in. Absolutely incredible. Next play for Penix, you see the rusher is just home free. He knows he needs to get this ball out. Nothing else he could have really done. Maybe throw the in route here. But yeah, I mean, you could have maybe said that this receiver is also going to be open. But he wants to give his guy a shot. It's not really going to end up very well for Penix. It just falls incomplete. But he's not at least going to make a bad throw. He's clearly not rattled by the pressure where he's going to throw it behind the guy or just completely whiff on it. It's still within. It's not a horrible throw. It's definitely probably a foot or so in front of an outstretched diving receiver. But he didn't really look too phased. He just looked more uncomfortable. Dealt with it fine. Just something that he definitely needs to work on and get better at pre-snap for sure. Not much to see here. It's just Penix doing a nice job of selling this play fake. Gets the ball to his running back, and they run a nice little screen. Scampers up to almost the touchdown, so good play by Penix. Does what needs to be done. Not super exciting, though. It's absolutely crucial to see how these quarterbacks play in the red zone. Gets the ball out very quick. There's that fast release. Good arm strength, and 87 is going to get so close to the red zone. Interesting play here. Penix kind of just looks uncomfortable the whole way. I know you're at the 1 yard line, so not much else you can do regarding his feet. He is like backpedaling, but just throws this ball out of bounds. I don't love the play call. Would definitely need to see this improve because being efficient near the red zone is obviously crucial for quarterbacks. We need those 4 points for fantasy football, but you know, pretty bad throw, and I don't like the play call either by the Falcons. Play action here. The running back's just going to peel out, and that's where Penix is going to hit him. So does a nice job selling it, runs back. Pretty clean pocket, but he has to step up right here. Does it, regathers, and it kind of seems like that was a little too far out in front of him, and also a little too much zip on it. I would just slow down, just get it to him right in his chest. Or even you want to throw it a little bit behind him and lead him up the field. Pick up a nice 5 yards instead. Not really able to do much with that as that's going to fall incomplete. Routes here are deep out route. You have a guy running towards the middle of the field. And then you're going to have this check down in the middle. So it didn't really seem like the outside out route was a primary option. But Penix gets the ball here. And he's just going to either check it down to the running back right here, or you could look for this middle of the field. You obviously just have to see what these two defenders do. Or I also would have liked him to look at the out route. He doesn't do either of those things. He gets the ball in a clean pocket, steps up, and then just moves around, checks the ball down because he's kind of feeling pressure. I don't hate it. Rifling the ball in here would have been a very bad idea. Obviously, you have that defender here. This defender could also probably step in and make a play on the ball. I would have liked him to get the ball out here because this defender was coming back to the sticks. I feel like that could have been a pretty easy first down catch. And you also have the defender at the bottom of the screen guarding this guy. Probably would have picked up 5. So overall, fine play. I think the only real argument is throw it on that out route. The running back gets 7-8 yards anyway, so fine throw. Maybe that out route was just not a primary part of the play, but I think there's definitely still a room for him to, when he senses pressure, still be looking at a route further down the field rather than just kind of panicking and getting the ball immediately to his running back. 2 basic throws here. Easy step back, drop, get the ball out, puts it on his guy. Not really too fancy, but picks up the first down. Again, drop back, 1-2. Nice base. It seemed like his feet were a little off here. And he's done this at a weird angle, which is probably why the ball was a little out of reach for this receiver. But brings it in. Nice catch. Solid gains. Getting the ball out immediately and showing that he is able to make that transition to what an NFL quarterback needs to do, which is get the ball out early. Out route here, and I can tell you exactly what is wrong with Penix on this missed throw. First, let's just replay it. Boom. And it's just missed. The cornerback also makes a nice play, but that's the difference between a, first down and an incompletion there. Penix needs to get the ball out faster, and the issue here with him is, let's rewind it to the very beginning, gets the ball, takes a drop back, and just clicks his feet together right here, so that's really not a legitimate step. Now he has to, rebound. He's backpedaling really bad, trying to regain his footing, and then gets to a nice throw. So if he just eliminates that click, that's a second to half a second faster, gets the ball sooner. That's the difference between a completion and an incompletion in the NFL. After watching Penix play, he remains my top buy in Dynasty Fantasy Football, ranked 90th overall in Superflex on the FTR website, versus Fantasy Pros who have him going at pick 128 on the ECR. Now, he's going at about a mid to late 2026 first, even a late 2025 first, and at that price, I'm absolutely buying him because I don't see a reason why he can't have a Jordan Love level ascension, who is ranked 16th overall for us right now. He was the 8th overall draft pick. He has great anticipation. I liked him more than Love as a prospect, to be honest. And I think the Falcons set of receivers in Drake London and Kyle Pitts long term is better than what the Packers have right now, or at least what we know coming into the year. But let's just wrap things up with a quick game summary. Penix really impressed me with his deep ball accuracy. I think that's what we saw at Washington, and that's what makes me excited because he is going to be fantasy relevant based on his big play ability. He's willing to push the ball downfield, and he does it at a very effective clip. He already showed that in his first game. Accuracy was there, missed a ball early on, but came right back, which was impressive. Already making NFL-level throws like that pump fake. Anticipation's great. The one thing I really want to see him improve on is his ability to read the defense pre-snap. I think he was solid, but definitely when identifying the blitz and dealing with pressure, it's still something he needs to work on, as that was a weak point in his game at Washington. But all in all, I was extremely impressed with Michael Penix, and I truly do believe that he will be the next Jordan Love, which is why he is the best buy in Dynasty Fantasy Football.